Good morning, ladies. And today I have to sort of apologize to you and tell you that my experiment failed and maybe I was wrong. Not wrong in the advice I was giving because I was just sharing what I was doing and sharing the advice that Menopause Taylor had given to me. But today I want to tell you exactly why I'm stopping using the birth control pill. Here it is, my Nordette. So if you've watched my last 2 or 3 videos, you would see that I've been using Nordette, the birth control pill, as a form of HRT. And today I'm going to tell you why I'm stopping, why it has failed me, and why I'm going back onto what I call traditional HRT. It's what the gynecologist has prescribed to me. It is Femigel and Utrogestin. Utrogestin is bioidentical progesterone tablets. And then, as always, whether I'm on the pill or not, I'm using a testosterone gel cream. So I'll go into all of that, and also I'll explain it all for those of you who are new here, because a lot of you are joining my channel. My channel is growing, which is very, very exciting. So thank you. So let me start off by just backtracking and explaining why I have switched back onto the birth control pill as HRT, and then I'll tell you what's gone wrong, and then I'll tell you why I've stopped and what I'm doing now. So I've been using Femigel, which is an estradiol in a gel form. You get this through a doctor or a gynecologist. I need a script for it. So I use this, which is estradiol, and then to balance it out, I'm taking Utrogestin, which is a progesterone bioidentical. And so it's fine, but it is a little bit of a mission, a small pain in the ass to be rubbing a gel cream on every single day. You have to use it daily. And so at the back of my mind, I kept thinking, Menopause Taylor, who is an OBGYN, she's got a YouTube channel right here. You can go and have a look at her channel. Very, very knowledgeable about menopause. And I had booked a consult. I did a consult with her. You can watch that video. I'll link it down below. And she had said to me, I should try the birth control pill as HRT. And I understand her reasoning. When you Google the ingredients of HRT tablets, a lot of them contain pretty much what the birth control pill contains, which is ethinyl estradiol and some form of progestin, but in lower doses. So the birth control pill contains far higher dosages of estrogen. So ethinyl estradiol is the ingredient. It's the main ingredient in pretty much all birth control pills. Some of them have a different form of estrogen, but in general, it's ethinyl estradiol for the most part. This is bioidentical though. So this is a bioidentical estradiol gel cream. You rub it in daily and it gets absorbed through the skin. The Utrogestin progesterone tablets, they like this. You can apparently put them in vaginally, but I don't know if that travels systemically. I'm assuming it would. I take these by mouth once at night, one of them at night. I have heard and read on the internet that progesterone cream, the molecule of progesterone, bioidentical, is too big to go through your skin. So although in the past I have used a progesterone like a gel cream, apparently it doesn't get absorbed. But in my case, I did a test and the levels were high, so it did get absorbed. So I'm very confused. Sometimes the internet confuses you. Menopause Taylor had told me to use a birth control pill. And after my consult with her, I did then try Jeanette 35 and then Yasmin Plus. And with both of them, I had negative reactions to what I'm assuming is the progestin in the birth control pills. Now, progestin is simply a word for a synthetic progesterone. So it's not bioidentical. It's not the same as what your body makes, but it does the same sort of function. So it's like a key that unlocks a door. That is what a hormone is. It's like a key that unlocks the receptor. And in your body, you've got receptors to these hormones. And a progestin will do some of the functions that progesterone does. And its main function, especially for us ladies in perimenopause and menopause, is to keep our uterine lining thin so that we don't have an overgrowth of uterine lining, and then it could lead potentially to uterine cancer. So that is the main reason why we want to take progesterone or have a progestin if we have our uterus. Okay, so I decided after a while on the Femigel and the Utrogestin And I never ever stopped my testosterone. That is because naturally I just have very low testosterone levels. So this I continue no matter what method of HRT I'm doing. But I decided after, I think this is my 5th month on this, you know what, it does get a bit, it's a mission. Every morning you've got to make sure you've got clean, dry skin. So either I'm showering in the morning, then I'm rubbing that on, then I'm going to the gym, then I'm coming home, then I'm showering again. So it gets a bit of a pain. Whereas, popping a tablet is so much easier. So much easier. And so I decided, you know what, I haven't given Nordette a full, like a month's trial. And Menopause Taylor says you need to give everything you try 2 months at least. So I thought, I still had an old packet of Nordette that I think I'd done 1 week on it. And then I went to the gynecologist who prescribed me this, and I was so excited about the new stuff. I just jumped straight onto my new regime, and it was great, and I felt good. But after 5 months, it does wear a bit thin. Every day rubbing this cream, letting it dry, and we are heading now towards winter. As you can see, look at how I'm dressed. And so I was thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to rub cream, and it's going to be cold in the mornings. And, because here in South Africa, especially where I live, we are not geared up for the cold weather. So we don't have very insulated buildings. We don't have, internal heating? What's it when you heat the building? Anyway, we don't have any of that. So we have to either run our air conditioner on hot, when it can go hot and cold, which uses up a lot of power, or we need a fireplace. We've got to run the fireplace. We've got to keep burning wood. That's expensive too. Anyway, so we're not geared for winter. And in the mornings, nothing would have been on. It would be cold. I would get out the shower, and I was starting to dread having to do this in the winter. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try Nordette again. I'm just going to experiment. And I've been reporting back to you ladies in my last 2 videos. I will link to those down below. That so far so good, meaning I didn't have any negative side effects like I had with Jeanette 35 and Yasmin Plus. Jeanette 35, it made me feel like I had a head cold and as if my sinuses were raw. I think I persevered with Jeanette 35 for about 10 days. I can't remember now how long, a week, 10 days. But it was I started to feel so weird and like I said, like a head cold. And the minute I stopped, that all went away. With the Yasmin Plus, I just got this raging headache. And by then I was already feeling a bit scarred, I think, by my experience with Jeanette 35. So I stopped that. And then the Nordette is fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's very similar to a birth control pill that I used to use when I was young, except back then it was triphasal that I used, which is it's 3 phases, triphasal. So there's more and less and more and less different dosages of the 2 ingredients. Nordette is monophasic, meaning it's the same every day. And my plan was to then skip the period part and just continue on, no period. That was another reason why I wanted to try the birth control pill, because you can skip the period part very easily. Whereas on these bioidentical, the gel and the pill, I am having a period. Like now and then, my body just has a bleed. It just breaks through and starts bleeding, and I don't even change anything. And so that is telling me that the progesterone, the Utrogestin progesterone, is not actually keeping my uterine lining that thin. It's showing me that I am building up enough uterine lining that my body then wants to shed it, because that is actually what a period is. It is your body during its natural cycle when you're not on anything. Your estrogen rises, it grows the lining, then the estrogen dips a bit, then your progesterone rises, halts the growth of the lining, and then both hormones dip off, and then you have a period. And so in theory, I should be triggering a period by stopping the progesterone and possibly even stopping this for a day or 2. And I don't do that, and my body just like spontaneously will have a period on average every month-ish or so. And that also is a bit of a pain, because I never know when it's coming really, because it's not even following my natural cycle. So that is what part of all the thinking was, to go and try the birth control pill. So a week went by, I felt fine. Week 2 went by, and some of you may remember I started to say, well, I think it's because it's summer, it's a bit hot, but I was starting to feel a bit clammy. But I'm not sure if it's just the hot weather or if it was this starting to have like no effect in terms of the estrogen, and I was starting to get the beginnings of hot flashes and night sweats. Well, this is the part that I want you guys to hear. By week 3, so I've done 2 weeks on the previous pack and here another week. 2 mornings ago, I woke up, had my coffee, and I started to just sweat. And now, granted, it was warmer on that day, but not so hot that I would just start sweating. In fact, at the back of my legs, behind my knees, were sweating, which is a weird place to sweat, but that's when you know it is like a hormonal sweat, like a night sweat, a hot flash. My partner said, sure, you're glistening like my chest. You sort of sweat in the center of your body. And I mean, I took his hand and I put it under the back of my knee, behind my calf. And he was like, whoa. And so that was, I think, Friday morning. That was Friday morning or Saturday morning. I cannot remember which morning. And then that continued. And then 2 nights ago, I woke up. Now, remember, because I was sleeping in my son's bed, he's away, because my partner snores, and shame, he wears the snore, what we call a snore guard, the contraption. He had taken it out. He says it makes his teeth sore. So I just left him to sleep in peace. I went to sleep in my son's bed. And I remember clearly, I woke up drenched in sweat. My t-shirt was soaking. If I had not been in my son's bed, I would have actually changed t-shirts. That's how wet it was. And we had a cold spell. So then I knew, here we go. The night sweats are starting again. So it basically took 3 weeks on this. I progressed from being fine to getting slightly clammy to having a night sweat, a full-blown night sweat, and full-blown hot flashes. And after that night, I just said, that's it, stop. I'm stopping. I'm not even going to carry on. Now, I have no explanation. I don't know why this would not be stopping the night sweats. I don't know why the ethinyl estradiol in the birth control pill is not speaking to the part of my brain that regulates temperature. Because what happens when we are in perimenopause and menopause is that the lower levels of estrogen, now this is the theory that I've read on the internet, there's no conclusive actual, this is why we have night sweats and hot flashes, but they say that estradiol does something to the hypothalamus where it comes and it calms down the body's reaction to temperature changes. So what happens, you ladies know, in perimenopause and menopause, you'll be fine, you'll drink something hot, or you'll start to move and suddenly you'll break out in a hot sweat. So your body just goes, oh, we're hot, and then it is like extreme alert level hot. And then the opposite might even happen where you feel cold and then you're suddenly very cold. So you can go from boiling hot to freezing cold within the same hour. I don't know if you ladies have experienced that, but anyway, on the Femigel, that does not happen to me at all. My temperature regulation is 100%. And so I have just gone back. Ladies, I've just stopped. I'm not going to push through and do another 2 weeks and suffer. It's just not worth it to me. It's not worth it to disturb my sleep. It's not worth it to disturb my partner. It's not worth it to me. Also, I don't know if you know, you would know if you've been going through this, that hormonal night sweat smell, that smell when you're in perimenopause and menopause and you're breaking out in hot flashes and night sweats. There's a kind of a sourness to that hormonal sweat. I know it sounds disgusting, but you know, you all know what it is. And it's gross. And I'm just not prepared to tolerate it. So I've got my Femigel, I've got my Eutrogestin. I will carry on with these. And like I've said in previous videos, I do have an appointment booked with a gynecologist to put the Mirena in. Now, the Mirena is an intrauterine device, so it goes inside your uterus. I guess you all know what that is. And what it does is it releases progestin, but only local to your uterus. And I'm hoping that that will prevent any form of bleeding and I will have no periods going forward. That is my goal. Not that it's the end of the world to have a period. I mean, if I wasn't on anything, I would still be having periods anyway. But why not? Why not stop a period if I can? I don't want any more children. I don't want to cycle naturally. I know that I'm heading towards menopause where it'll all stop anyway. And with the help of adding hormones into my body, for me, I just want everything to be the same every day. I want to feel the same every day. I don't want to cycle up and down. That is my thinking and my rationale. I'm not saying that that is right for you. I'm not saying that that is what you should do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And I'm also just sharing, and maybe some of you have an answer. Maybe some of you could explain to me, I don't know, why it is that the birth control pill, which apparently has higher dosages of estrogen, why it would actually not be preventing hot flashes and night sweats. I can't speak to any other of the symptoms because, like, for example, joint aches and pains, brain fog, mood swings, all of that may take longer to appear again. What I can say is that I was craving sweets, chocolates, cakes a lot again, but again, I have a sweet tooth anyway, so it's hard for me to discern whether that is from being on the birth control pill and hormones declining. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm just a bad absorber, whether it just doesn't get absorbed through my gut properly. But one would think that I can because I don't have a period unless I stop the pill, unless I go onto the red tablets. So I am a bit confused. I'm not sure why it doesn't work for me because in theory, it should. I've heard doctors here on YouTube, I've made videos about it, say that you can use the birth control pill to regulate your hormones. And as I've said, Menopause Taylor has said to me in a consult that that is what I need to do. And in fact, she's told other ladies the same thing because some of you have commented on my videos and said that she's also told you younger ladies who are in perimenopause to use the birth control pill for HRT. So I really don't know why. It didn't work. It's not working for me. I refuse to night sweat. I hate it. It drives me crazy. You just get so hot and uncomfortable, and the heat is like radiating from every part of you. And I just don't see a reason why I should. So I wanted to let you ladies know that was the result of my experiment. But I also wanted to do the experiment so that I knew for a fact what to tell you guys, whether it worked or didn't work for me. So to conclude, I'm going back onto my what I call my HRT Nirvana, meaning it works for me. I feel good on it. I'm always on tester gel. I've been on tester gel since 2020, I think it is, since my GP actually put me on it. It is compounded because you don't get female dosed pharmaceutical testosterone gel, at least not here in South Africa. And so the gynecologist that I'm now working with has told me to stay on this. It is compounded, but as long as I'm testing and my levels are okay on this, he's happy for me to continue. And so that's where I'm at with my HRT journey at the moment. So I just thought I'd share with you ladies. I would be very interested to hear if any of you have had similar experiences or if any of you do know why, why the birth control pill didn't work for me as a form of HRT. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.